Hello. As part of our ERP implementation process, today we touch upon the another master data preparation and what are the fields we need to focus on. The Excel sheet we share with the customer has got couple of fields. In this particular Excel, I'm talking about customer master data. Traditionally, customer master data, we talk about, customer ID, what the unique recognition number you are given to your customer, the name, address one, address two, and the city. Please note we have mentioned specifically the maximum size of each field length required. This is mainly required from the view of the e-invoice requirement, where each of the field has the limited length of the size of the field. Okay. And as per the e-invoice, the city is an important parameter in this complete section. So you create a customer ID, the customer name, the address one, address two field. This is typically in India, we have the address one, address two, city, state, country, and a pin code kind of thing. And these are all important for the e-invoice generation, e-way bill generation, everything. So the important fields I have put in a yellow and red color mark over here. Then afterwards you have the regular phone number, mobile, email ID, everything. Now some of the customer can add their reference numbers like a tag, string number, when if anything is there. There are some cases we need the PAN number, which is requesting the new invoice kind of a needs. GSTN and the state code, these are all important again. When you define your customer master, the GST number is important, plus the GST state. In case the customer doesn't have a GST number, you take state as the other state. This is one of the hard-coded recognition in the ERP to say that this customer doesn't belong to any state. For example, you have the customer from outside India, which doesn't have any GST number, then you can go with the other state concept. Other than that, you have the next layer of data entry points, like a secondary email, contact number, mobile, if anything you can mention. And this is another important factor for the GST recognition the companies, where they have to report the customer-wise invoice details by the group. For GST type, these are the standard GST type recognized by the government of India. You can pick any one of them, either GST, non-GST, the regular working customers, e-commerce customer, composite, or SEZ. If it is a SEZ, then even within the state, the tax applied is IGST. So think on that. The next four parameter we are talking about a scenario like a credit limit, available limit, credit check, and stop sales. One of the problem we see in the business is, let us say I have a limit of 2.5 lakh rupees. Okay, available still, let us say I have already used some credit limit and the amount remaining is 1 lakh rupees, right? Now the biggest problem what happens is a few customers you want to control the limit given to them. That means they can take a credit limit up to 2.5 lakh rupees from the business side, while you have a control of not to raise the invoice in case the amount is going below this available limit becomes zero, right? For example, in this case, I have a available limit of 1 lakh rupees and I say check credit limit, yes. Now here what happens is the moment you make a invoice for say 100,000 rupee 0.1, that's a invoice amount. If you have put a credit limit check case, a system gives a warning message saying that you are crossing this limit, but it won't stop you from the making any invoice. In case you say stop sales, that time system will not allow you to continue. That means if the available limit is 1 lakh, you have the two control. The check credit limit is more of a warning message, while stopping will stop you from raising an invoice. So use this control to make sure that you have a proper customer limits and whether you want to raise the invoice or not. This is not again a mandatory, depending on the business you can go ahead. The next one is the customer type. It is more on the side of general type, distributor, dealers, or a wholesaler kind of a type. which helps you to define the price lists. If you have, you can define. Same like the reason and category is mainly helping you to grouping of a customers. Uh, then some of the customer they have this nature of identifying the customer bank, phone number, everything. Again, these are not a mandatory field. The last but not least one is the payment terms. Sometimes you may have your own payment terms attached to each customer, like 50% advance, 50% after the before the release of the invoice, or 50% advance and after 30 days after the delivery of items. Based on that, you decide which one suits you. And this is another important factor here. Also, as a supplier, some of the time, what happens, you have a same customer, he also purchased the material from you. That means you have raised the invoices for say 100,000 rupees, plus you have to pay him the money. You have made a GRNs for say 22,000, right? Now the normal process is you have to pay the net amount to the customer. Now how the system recognizes is, if a single customer is there, he is also your supplier. That means system says the difference between these two is what paid to the supplier or the customer here. Okay, so you can have a single ID to recognize the customer and the supplier and do the payment. Okay, so most of these fields, depending on the business you'll be using, as I said, wherever I have marked as a red and yellow color, these are mandatory fields. Just fill up the data. Once the data is filled up, you can go to the master data upload. This is the application login ID, and click on the customer master. And you see an interface here, right? Which is similar to the one we have defined here. You just copy this data, cut and paste, and go and paste over here. That's all. Okay, once the data is uploaded, you click on the validate. System checks and if the data error, it says not okay, not okay. And if it is data okay, clicks on the save, and the master data is click and it will save the data. Okay, so this is a pretty simple way of a master data creation and how we are going to work out on that. If any issues, you can speak to our implementation consultants. Thanks a lot.